I swear, I thought the drama would stop the day I finally moved to the countryside. I was done with city life, ready to get away from the endless traffic and apartment noise. What I didn't expect was for an HOA Karen to completely lose it over a piece of land I bought that wasn't even part of their HOA. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you are listening. Your support means everything. Let me backtrack a little. It all started last year when I decided to make a life change. I was tired of living in a cramped, overpriced apartment in the city. I dreamed of wide open spaces, fresh air, and peace. So, after a lot of searching, I found the perfect place, a ranch about 50 acres, tucked away just outside this little rural town. The price was right, and there were no HOA restrictions. I was sold. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone want to live in a place where there's no HOA? But hear me out. For me, the whole point of getting away from the city was to escape rules about how I should live my life. I didn't want to be told when to mow my lawn, what color my house could be, or whether or not I could have a few chickens running around. This ranch was freedom, plain and simple. When I closed the deal, I felt on top of the world. I was already planning how I'd build my dream home, start a little homestead, and just enjoy some quiet time away from the rat race. I even started driving out to the property on weekends to check it out and get a feel for the land. That's when I met Karen. Karen, let's call her that, wasn't even from my side of town. She lived about a mile away from my property in a development that was part of the HOA. I had no clue who she was until the day she showed up, waving her arms in the middle of the road, looking like she was about to have a meltdown. I was pulling into my driveway, driving my rusty old pickup truck, which was way too old for an HOA anyway, but I liked it. When I saw her, she looked absolutely furious, standing in front of the entrance to my property with a furious scowl and hands on her hips. I slowed down, rolled my window down, and gave her a little wave. She wasn't waving back. "Excuse me," she yelled, stomping toward me as I parked. "I need to talk to you." I took a deep breath, already sensing this was going to be one of those conversations. "What's up?" She pointed down the dirt road leading up to my ranch. "You can't just buy this property. It's part of our community's access route. The HOA controls everything in this area." I blinked. No, this land isn't part of your HOA. It's outside your boundaries." Her face turned red. "You don't understand," she snapped. "That road leads straight through the development. You can't just block it off." I wasn't even sure where this conversation was going. "First of all," I said slowly, "that road is part of my property now. I own it. And second of all, I'm not blocking it off," she scoffed. "You'll see. The HOA will take care of this." I could tell by the way she said it that this wasn't the last I'd hear from her, but I wasn't worried. I had legal documentation and zoning laws on my side, and the HOA didn't own any part of my land. But I was wrong to underestimate Karen's ability to make things difficult. Over the next few weeks, she made her presence known. She'd show up at my gate, sometimes multiple times a week, demanding I open the access road, even though there was no need to. She even started knocking on my door to try to discuss things. I ignored her as much as possible, but one day, she cornered me while I was getting my mail. "I'm telling you," she said, practically shaking with anger. "If you don't open up the road, we'll make your life miserable. You're not just messing with me. You're messing with the entire community." I rolled my eyes. "No, Karen, I'm not messing with anybody. I'm just minding my own business, living my life. If the road was open when I bought the place, it's because it was legal. It's my land now, and if I want to put up a gate, I can." She glared at me. "You'll regret this," she hissed, before storming off. That's when I realized something. Karen wasn't going to give up. She was going to make sure that every time I tried to enjoy my property, I'd be reminded of her presence. She was already calling the local authorities, trying to claim the road as part of the HOA easement, and basically turning into the worst kind of neighbor. That's when it clicked I could play the game to. It wasn't long before I decided I'd had enough. Karen had one thing wrong, though she didn't realize just how much I could mess with her. If she wanted to make things difficult for me, then I'd make things difficult for her. It was time to turn the tables. I hired a contractor, and after a couple of weeks, I had a full security gate installed right at the edge of my property. It wasn't a tiny fence or a weak gate. No, I had a big, imposing, iron gate put up, complete with a no trespassing sign that was almost impossible to miss. The key part: the road that Karen was trying to claim as an access route ran right through my land. Once the gate was up, I made sure it was locked tight. And I didn't stop there. I had a couple of heavy-duty rocks placed just off the road near her development, making it impossible for anyone to get through without completely clearing the area. I wasn't blocking anything on my side of the property line, but on her side, it was a different story. The next time I saw Karen, about 2 days later, she came charging up the road, already ranting. I could see her from a distance, and when she saw the gate, her face twisted into a mask of fury. "What did you do?" she screamed. "You can't just block this road." I stepped out of my truck slowly, crossing my arms. "It's my property. If you want to drive through here, you'll have to find another way." She turned red again, hands clenched into fists. "This is ridiculous. You're ruining everything. You can't just take over like this. The HOA will see you. We'll make sure of it." I smiled, and it wasn't a friendly one. "Go ahead. I'm ready. But for now, this is my land, and you're trespassing." It wasn't long before I got a call from the HOA's lawyer. They claimed the road was theirs, and they threatened legal action. I wasn't worried. I knew I had a solid case. The road didn't belong to them, and I had made sure every inch of my land was properly secured. I didn't have to do much except wait for their bluster to subside. A few weeks later, they backed off. Karen, on the other hand, was furious. She would pass by occasionally, but she never again dared to approach me. The gate stayed shut, and the road remained blocked. She tried to rally the neighbors, but when they realized I wasn't the one causing trouble, they didn't care much anymore. In the end, I got what I wanted: peace and quiet. No more whole Karen drama, and I could enjoy my ranch without the threat of someone telling me what I could or couldn't do. The best part: every time Karen drove past, I'd wave and smile. It felt really good to finally have the last word.